What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm picking NFL Week 7 matchups, so let's hop into it. And first things first, I want to say thank y'all so much for 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And if you like these types of videos, please consider subscribing. And also, it's not too late to enter my $100 Fanatics gift card giveaway over on my Instagram. I will be doing that drawing this Friday, October 20th. And like I said, it's not too late to enter. All you have to do is go over there, like this post. If you comment on it and follow me, you get a couple additional entries, but that'll take place this Friday. But anyway, let's just hop over to the football. And last week, my record was 8-7, and it should have been better because I changed my Browns pick to the 49ers. So I'm really kicking myself over that. But hey, it is what it is. So my record last week was 8-7, which brings my overall record to 60-33. Once again, I don't think that's too bad. And this week, we actually have 6 teams on their bye: the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Panthers, the Texans, and the Titans, all on their bye. So there's 6 teams on their bye this week. But anyway, let's hop into the matchups. And on Thursday Night Football, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints. The Jaguars got a huge divisional win last week against the Colts. The only bad news about that is Trevor Lawrence was shaken up with an injury, so he's kind of questionable for this game against the Saints. The Saints did lose last week to the Texans, so they're looking to rebound. And if I'm the Jaguars, I'm probably resting Trevor Lawrence in this game. It's a short week. There's no need to risk further injury, in my opinion. So if they do rest Lawrence, it'll be CJ Beathard at their quarterback. And I don't think that really bodes well for the Jaguars right here against the Saints team. But Trevor Lawrence could make a comeback and play in this game. But either way, I'm just kind of uneasy about that. So I will be giving this Thursday night football game right here to the New Orleans Saints by a score of 23-17. Then we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Chicago Bears. The Raiders got a win against the Patriots last week. The Bears lost to the Vikings. Both of these teams' quarterback situations are kind of up in the air right now. Jimmy Garoppolo left last week's game with, I want to say it was a back injury. Justin Fields left with a dislocated thumb, I believe it was. So both of their quarterback positions are kind of up in the air for this game. The Raiders could have to start Brian Hoyer or rookie quarterback Aiden O'Connell. The Bears, on the other hand, would have to start Tyson Bagent. I really don't know much about him. So both of these quarterback situations are in limbo. So I think this game ultimately comes down to who's the better team overall. And I think that goes to the Raiders right here. They obviously have more wins than the Bears. And with the quarterback situation right here in flux, I got to give the win to the Raiders by a score of 21-13. Then we have the Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts, and the Cleveland Browns got a huge win against the San Francisco 49ers last week. And I had the game picked right, but then once the Deshaun Watson got ruled out and I started overthinking it, I changed my pick, and it was a huge mistake. So I'm never going to change any of my picks ever again just because of that. So we got the Cleveland Browns at the Colts. The Colts lost to the Jaguars last week, and the Colts sadly will probably be without quarterback Anthony Richardson for the rest of the year as he's contemplating going season-ending shoulder surgery. So that is a huge blow to this team, but luckily they do have Gardner Minshew, so they'll still be competitive, I feel like. But once again, this Browns defense last week proved that they are legit. Deshaun Watson or not, they can get the job done. And I got to give the win to the Browns right here. I think their defense can shut down anybody in this league, and that includes this Colts offense. So I have the Browns winning this game right here, 26-6. Then we have an AFC East matchup. We have the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots, and the Bills survived against the New York Giants. And I really didn't think the Giants stood much of a chance in that game. Tyrod Taylor was quarterbacking them, and the Bills just did not look good at all. And they probably should have got flagged on that last play on Darren Waller, but like I said, they just survived the Giants. The Patriots lost last week to the Raiders, and it's looking bad for the Patriots. I'm surprised they've done this bad so far. And this is a divisional matchup, so it should be a relatively good game. I don't think it's going to be super close. I do think the Bills want to respond, put that Giants game behind them, even though they did win it. And I know the Patriots aren't really showing much signs of life right now. They showed a little bit against the Raiders, but still, once again, they just haven't been playing good. I don't know if it's their personnel. I don't know if it's coaching. I just don't know what's going on with the Patriots right now. So I think Buffalo can go into Foxborough and get this win right here by a score of 30-14. Then we have an NFC East matchup. We have the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. The Commanders did get a win last week at the Falcons. The Giants should have probably beat the Bills last week, but they didn't. And this game is going to be a hard-fought divisional matchup. I think these two teams match up relatively well against each other. And the Giants, they were without quarterback Daniel Jones last week, as Tyrod Taylor was quarterbacking them. And I didn't think Taylor did a bad job at all. And I know it's still up in the air who's going to start this game, but regardless of who it is, I think the Giants can get an upset win right here at home. So I'm going to give this game right here to the New York Giants I think they'll just pull it out in the end. So I have them winning this game 20-16. Then we have an NFC South matchup. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Falcons lost last week. The Buccaneers lost last week. So both of these teams looking to rebound. And the Falcons last week, they definitely outplayed the Commanders, but Desmond Ridder just had too many turnovers. And that's just something that haunts teams. You can't win if you lose the turnover margin. It's extremely hard in the NFL. So that's really hindering this Falcons offense and team as a whole. The Buccaneers lost a game to the Lions, so that's pretty excusable in my opinion. But if Desmond Ridder turns it over 2-3 times again, I feel like it'll be extremely hard for the Atlanta Falcons to win this game against the Buccaneers. And for that reason, I think the Buccaneers will win this game right here, just force a few turnovers, and I think it'll be pretty smooth sailing for them. So I have the Buccaneers winning this game right here at home by a score of 27-17. And then we have a really good matchup right here. We have the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens, AFC versus NFC right here. And this game could really go either way. Both of these teams are playing good football right now. The Lions have a good defense. The Ravens have a good defense. The Lions have a good offense. The Ravens have a pretty good offense. So they are pretty evenly matched all across the board. And I feel like this game is going to be a game that comes down right to the wire. The Lions will be without running back David Montgomery, so rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs should be back this week. So I don't think the Detroit Lions running game will be that big of an issue. And I think the key to winning this game is whoever can shut the other team's running game down. So it's really either way. But I'm going to give this pick right here to the Detroit Lions. I think they'll go into Baltimore, make a statement, and get a win right here, improve to 6-1 on the season. And I have them winning this game 27-24. And then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Rams, and I think these two teams are pretty on par with each other. They're both middle-of-the-pack teams. They both have a relatively good defense. I do think the Steelers' offense under Kenny Pickett is a little bit below Matthew Stafford in this Rams offense. And I definitely think the Rams have more offensive weapons, and I think that kind of tips the scales in their favor right here. But the Steelers are coming off their bye, so they have had extra time to prepare for this game. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and it could really go either way. But I'm going to give it to the Rams right here just because I think their offense has a little bit more playmakers than this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. So I'm going to give the win right here to the Los Angeles Rams by a score of 17-13. Then we have an NFC West matchup. We have the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. Both of these teams are coming off a loss. The Cardinals lost to the Rams last week. The Seahawks lost in Cincinnati to the Bengals. So both of these teams are looking to rebound. And I don't think Arizona is going to go into Seattle and get a win. I just think it's extremely difficult. But hey, if I learned anything from last week, anything is possible. But once again, I don't think this Arizona Cardinals team can do that. So I'm going to give this win right here to the Seattle Seahawks by a score of 28-10. Then we have another team coming off their bye. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos lost last week to the Kansas City Chiefs, so they're 1-5. The Packers are 2-3, so both of these teams below 500. And the Broncos did have kind of a silver lining in their loss last week. Their defense did hold the Chiefs to only 19 points, so they really didn't play too bad. It was just that Denver offense that kind of let them down. The Packers coming off their bye, extra time to prepare for this game. And the Broncos kind of had a mini bye because they played on Thursday, so they had a couple of extra days of rest. So I think this matchup will be super close. And I think Green Bay is going to go in there and get the win, though. Just Denver has had a lot of offensive struggles. They just really haven't seemed to put the pieces together yet. And it's hard for me to pick them. So for that reason, I think Green Bay will go into Denver and get the win right here by a score of 24-16. Then we have an AFC West matchup. We have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers lost to the Cowboys last week. The Chiefs beat the Broncos. And I think this game is going to be a shootout. I know the Chiefs have kind of struggled in past weeks, kind of playing down to their opponent's level. And the Chargers also kind of had their struggles this year. But I think this is just one of those games where the offense is just going to let the ball fly. And whoever possesses the ball last is going to win this game. And out of all the AFC West teams, the Chargers have beaten Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs the most. Even though they are 2-7 against the Chiefs, the Broncos haven't gotten a win against them, and the Raiders are like 1-9 against them. So the Chargers, out of their division, in my opinion, have the best chance to beat them. And with it being a divisional matchup, I think it's obviously going to be close. Like I said, I think whoever possesses the ball last is going to win this game. So I have this kind of being an upset pick right here. So I think the Chargers are going to go into Kansas City and get the win right here by a score of 30-27. Then on Sunday Night Football, we have the Miami Dolphins at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Dolphins easily took care of business against the Panthers last week. Even though they let the Panthers score a couple touchdowns right off the gate, they didn't mind. They come back and beat them by like 3 touchdowns. The Eagles lost to the Jets, so there are no more undefeated teams, as the Eagles lost to the Jets and the 49ers lost to the Browns. So everybody has a loss, but the Panthers still don't have a win, but they're on their bye this week, so they're not going to get it. But anyway, back to the Sunday night football game. We have the Dolphins at the Eagles. And I think the Dolphins can go into Philadelphia and get the win. They have a super explosive offense. They also have a really respectable defense as well. The Eagles haven't really ran away with too many games this year. They played a decent amount of close games, but they were just kind of getting by. The Jets forced 4 turnovers last week, and they were without their top 2 cornerbacks. So the Eagles' offense and Jalen Hurts were turning the ball over too much last week. And if that continues into this game, it'll be very tough sledding for this Eagles team. And the Dolphins will without a doubt win it if they can force like 3 or 4 turnovers like the Jets did. But regardless, I do think both of these offenses can be very explosive. So I think this is another game that could definitely be a shootout. But I think Miami overall is just a better rounded team than the Eagles. So I have the Dolphins winning this game right here in Philadelphia by a score of 38-28. Then closing out the week on Monday Night Football, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings. The 49ers, like I just said before, lost to the Cleveland Browns, their first loss of the season. The Vikings did beat the Bears last week, and the 49ers will probably be without Christian McCaffrey this game, as he suffered an oblique injury and didn't return to the Browns game. Deebo Samuel, another one that got banged up in that Cleveland game, but he should be good to go. Same with Trent Williams. He actually came back in that game. So 49ers will probably be without McCaffrey. And I don't think it's like a serious long-term injury with him. I do think he'll be back in a couple of weeks, and I think they're just going to hold him out of this game as just kind of a precautionary type thing. But overall, I still don't think that really hinders the 49ers' chances of winning this game at Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota stands too much of a chance right here against the 49ers. So I do have the 49ers rebounding right here and getting a win, improving to 6-1 on the season, and beating the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 31-20. So yeah, those are my NFL Week 7 picks. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, it's not too late to enter my $100 Fanatics gift card giveaway over on my Instagram. The link is in the description. All you have to do, like this post. If you comment and follow me, you get a couple additional entries. Not a lot of people have entered, so the chances of winning are pretty good. I'll catch you with another video. God bless.